Well, hi everyone. Sorry for being slightly late. I was trying to fix my internet connection so that we don't have problems today, and I hope that that won't be the case. Started the router again and sort of fixed everything up. So sorry for making all of you wait. Welcome to all of you to the 18th day of the training. This is the sort of the fourth last day, you can say, and we are going to do a lot of interesting stuff today. By the way, the first contributor for the day is Kimaya Virle, who's contributed 500, and she said thank you for the inspirational guidance. After 10th board exams not yet over, three papers are still left, helped a lot to revise. Okay, fantastic. And the interesting thing is, Kimaya, today we are going to have a look at your game, one of your games in today's session. So very nice that you began and you started off with the contribution. Welcome to Mukilan Bala, to Sudesh Dudhagi, Atharva Polekar, Sniper Ghost Dota, Kalidos Pechi, Alan Thomas, Rima Singh, Quest, Tinku Saha, Ricardo, Swayam Ubale. Well, it's become like these names have become so common for me, that I remember each one of you very well. So yeah, it's 18 days, so what do you expect? So today we are going to learn about development. I think it's going to be an exciting class. I'm going to teach you this theme which occurs again and again in your game. So I'm going to not just show you an illustrative game, I'm not going to show you just my game, but also take your games which you have sent me, in which this theme was very clearly noticeable, and we are going to study that. So how about beginning with a few tactics for the day? I think that's how we do it every day, and so let's begin with some tactics. Okay, so we have chessbase account here. I made sure to sign in with my stronger account where I have a higher rating so that you get tougher puzzles for today. Yeah, this is white to move, black to move. What would you play here as black? And remember, you do not have to give me just one move answers. Yes, this is very important. Is my voice echoing? That's what Kalidos Pechi. I think you are the only one who's facing this problem, or is it faced by others as well? Please let me know. Okay, it's not echoing, says Anushka. Rook E1 says chess master RS. Well, yes, true, one move, but what if I just move my king? If I take the rook, you will take my queen. Haider Yasmin says rook E1, queen C4. True, true. Everyone, that's right. But what if the king is moved? King H2, rook C1, I take back with the queen. And then you just pick up the pawns. Yeah, that's possible, I think. Rook E1, king H2, queen E5. But rook E1, king H2, queen E5, if F4. Yeah, rook E1 is very clear, like that seems like a good move to me. Rishila Banerjee says, I feel nervous before playing a game. How do I overcome that? Oh, that's a good question, Rishila, and thank you for your contribution of 100 rupees. And thank you for being there since the last few days, I think a week now. Let me finish this problem and then I'll discuss this issue. Like maybe after the tactics session, we'll talk about how to overcome nervousness. Okay, so basically you give a check, and then when he moves, you take the rook, and then you take the b4 pawn, and then you queen it. Yeah, I think that looks straightforward. Yeah, if he takes here, you take a b4 and then just start rolling your pawns. Okay, let's go for one more. This seems pretty easy. Do not need to ask you guys, but sometimes it's nice to give you such positions where you feel like, okay, we solved it. Uh, yeah. Practical thinking says lockdown is extended. Will you extend the classes? Really? When did they announce the lockdown is extended? I'm still waiting for that news. Yes, Anup Datta, you are right. You're the first one to answer this. Aha, my voice is echoing. That's what is being said. One second, let me just fix it. If there is something I can do. Hello. Yeah, well, let me just see if this works. Yeah, I think now it should be okay. Sometimes I'm able to fix things. Yeah, like now my voice should be much better. Yeah, Rook 8 E3 is a mate. Well done. Let's go to the next one. This one is white to move. And okay, again a simple one. Yeah, the voice is much better now because I think somehow my camera was also picking up the voice. So Arvind KR says, I want to learn opening theory. Where and how can I do so? Kindly help me. First of all, thank you so much, Arvind, for contributing 100 rupees. Very kind of you. The best way to learn openings depends on level. But I think I have just published a video right now. I will just show you after we solve this session. So, two questions, one is opening, and another one is about confidence before the game. Yeah, let's see. Queen e8. Kavita Naidu says, I'm here from 18 days. Wonderful, Kavita. Queen e8. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is again a simple one, it seems, but the difficulty level is like 2100. Not sure why. White to move. Yeah, well done, guys. Well done. Queen e8 is the correct move. Yeah, he may extend lockdown, is what he has said, but no yet concrete information by the Prime Minister. Ishir Narayan, the email ID of Chessbase India is both Chessbase India at Gmail and Team Chessbase India. For tournaments, you write to Team Chessbase India at Gmail. For this class, you can write to Chessbase India. Yep, BD5 is the correct move. Divya HL says the best example for development is Hari Krishna versus Duda. Yes, that's a video I've made on my channel. It's a good one, Divya. You remembered. Take and let's go to another one. This one looks again pretty simple. This is uh, white to move. Yeah, white to move here. What would you play? Yeah, very good. All of you who said Vimal Dave says one session on calculation. Yeah, on my list to do something about calculation. Knight c7. Yeah, okay. I was thinking about all these ideas with queen a8, but then you take on b5. But I think it's simpler to just win the knight with the queen. Well done. Knight c7 and then take the queen. Or should I first give a check? I think giving a check is important because if I took the queen, you would also take my queen, and it's better to checkmate your opponent. Um, okay. Again, today not very tough puzzles. I think we have to solve it for a little bit more. But this one looks interesting. White to move. Murad Taj says, when my opponent thought is thinking about his move in standard time, I'm bored. What can I do in this moment? Interesting. Okay. Jaideep Chakrabarti says, if time is there, can you take a session on how can we smoothly transition to pawn endgame? Interesting. Would it be so important to understand how to transition to a pawn endgame? I mean, I think it's very concrete and subjective and would depend a lot on the position. But yeah, there would be some examples definitely about it. Okay, I'll think about it. Here, as you all rightly pointed out, Sumed, Pankaj Panchal, Anish Adika, Devansh Chaudhary, Ripple Padmani, Virinchi Vadali, and many others, knight e5 is the correct move with the idea of knight g4. Okay, fantastic. Now, coming to one of the questions that was posed to me, what is the best way to work on openings? Well, just yesterday, Chessbase released, or 2 days ago, they released the opening encyclopedia. And what opening encyclopedia does is it gives you a lot of features about the openings. I'm not going to go in too much detail because if you go here and to the YouTube channel of Chessbase India here, then you will find that the latest video today here that I have made, oops, it's an ad. Hi everyone, this is about opening encyclopedia review. So you can just go through this and I explain to you what you get, and I believe that it's very very powerful. So in case you like it, you can go through it. But just for your idea, it's basically has around 1160 opening reports. So if you click on open game, say go to Rui Lopez and then click on any variation, you will get an opening report by a grandmaster or an IM who talks about the position, tells you what's happening, and then you can click on the game, it opens up and it is annotated. So it's a very nice way to learn openings, and it is very well segregated different opening wise. If you are an e4 player, d4 player, has a lot of new ideas like novelties and stuff. So that's about the opening repertoire. There are also 40 videos by top players here. You can click on any one of them and it loads up around 10 to 20 minutes of each video. There are 40 of them. And then you can go to opening tutorials, and I think this is very good for people who are just beginning out. It has a summary of all the openings in short. So like King's Gambit, what is it? Then Vienna game, what is it all about here? So it has all this summary, which is a new feature which is included here. So just go in here and check my video on YouTube channel, and maybe if you find this useful, I think it's a good product to invest in. Opening Encyclopedia 2020. No, this is not free. It costs 3,000 plus tax. Uh, but well, if it helps you to win certain important games, then I think it's worth it. Okay, so let's get back to what is the theme of today. Our theme of the day is development, and I'm going to show you one of my games, and with the help of that, I'm also going to teach you a short opening, which I always like when I can give you some new opening ideas. Okay, so this time it's with black that I'm going to talk about, and my opponent started with d4. Yeah, there's one more question that I had to attend to, which was by um, Rishila. Yes, I'll come to that. Setu Minocha says, "Good morning, Sagar sir. Since I have online school, I can't attend live class, but will surely see the recording. Thank you for your efforts." Well, thank you, Setu, for contributing. Also, thanks for sending in your games before and right now for contributing 100 rupees. Thanks a lot. Well, I hope you are able to see it later on. Uh, yeah, so Rishila asked that, she feels nervous before the games and what should be done for that. And I think that it's a very common thing that happens to all of us when we do something that is important, when the result is important for us. We start having these butterflies in the stomach. It happens when you go to an examination, when you go to the chessboard as well. Um, I think it happens because first of all it's natural, but secondly we give a lot of importance to whether we'll win, we'll lose, or what will happen, and we focus on things that are not in our control. So if you go to the board with just the intention of playing one good move after another, you're not really caring about whether I want to win the game, whether I want to beat my opponent is a higher rated, lower rated, just let's forget all of that. It's a battle against yourself. It's a battle that if yesterday I could give my 90%, I was not focused, let me try to reach 95%. If you are able to build up this attitude in yourself, then I feel that the stress, the tension, the nervousness will reduce. And I am not claiming that I have been successfully able to fight this. In fact, my friends used to a lot of time tease me. I used to go to washroom repeatedly before the game, during the game, after the game. I mean, it was very stressful, but I think recently, if I sit on the chessboard, I'm not so stressed out as before. It also happens with time when you get experience. So it's a process, but most important is not to give overemphasis on the result. Yeah, that will help you. Okay, so let's get back. Arun Dikshit, no, if you have Chessbase 15, opening encyclopedia isn't there. It's a new product which was launched just yesterday, day before yesterday. Okay. Uh, yeah, let's begin with this game. So my opponent played d4, and should I flip the board today? I feel like seeing it from the black side. I went knight f6. He went c4. I played e6. I played my favorite opening, yes, bishop b4. And I think you know the name of the opening, just to make sure that all of you are awake. What's the name of the opening? Shashank asks, where is this thumbnail from? Shashank, it's from Gulmarg, I think. Yes, it's from Gulmarg in North India. But also, I'm running out of thumbnails. You see, every day I have to put a picture of me, and then I used all the good pictures on the board and everything, and then I say, okay, what to use today, and then I use this. Yes, Nimzo Indian, as you rightly pointed out, Sniper Ghost, Ishan Deshpande, Anup Datta, Kimaya Virle, Arpan Mukherjee, Lakshman Raj, Ishir Narayanan. Uh, Rishila says my tactics rating is 2314. Very good. Keep going, and increase it. All of you have said Nimzo Indian. Well done, guys. You all are awake, and that's the most important thing for me right now. So my opponent last time we discussed e3 in depth in the 11th session, as you pointed out, but queen c2 was played in this game, and queen c2 is actually very interesting. You are told not to develop your queen too early in the opening, but in this system, what white wants is he doesn't want to double his pawns, and he wants the advantage of winning the bishop as well. So I said, okay, let's castle. Looks good, I castle. My opponent played a3. I took. By the way, there are two main moves here. One is e4 and another is a3. I took, and he took with the queen. It makes sense to take with the queen. If you take with the pawn, then why to play queen c2? You might as well play a3 here itself and then take with the pawn. So when you play queen c2 and castle and a3, you must take it with the queen. And now I want you guys to tell me what the imbalances are in this position, and then come up with a move for black here. Nish and Neil says I got an account and my chess base rating tactics rating is 2000. Very good. Very good. Arun Dikshit, you must try to reach 2500 now. You are 2433. Saurav Banerjee says, is Queen C2 the most annoying line for the black player? Possibly, but white in this position, black has so many different options that actually white player has to be well prepared. I'll show you. Shashank says, this is the finest thumbnail so far. Can't go wrong with a photo in the mountains. Yes, and also with snow. Okay, so white has double bishop, says Quest A. Very good. Very good. This is a good observation. He has the bishop pair. Uh, what else? Black is developed, says Swanandatar, because our theme for today is development. Yes, so black has played knight f6 and has castled, while white has yet to develop. Okay, very good. Weak white squares in the queen side. Well, yes, these are slightly weak, you can say, but not right now. I mean, it's not so clear that they are weak, but could be, could be. Anything else? So I think the main two things that we have concluded through our Jaideep says black has king safety, white has space, white has lead in development. White has lead in development would be wrong. Yeah, black, I mean, you would like to say. White has bishop pair, material is equal, white has more space in the time. Black is ahead in development, white queen is misplaced, evaluation is equal. Yes, evaluation right now we are still in the opening, so roundabout even, but you all rightly pointed out that white has a strong center, has space. Black has development. You see, his castle got his one piece out. It's already good development. Also, he has the move here. Very important. And what else? What else? Bishop pair for white. Yeah. And queen is slightly misplaced here. Yes, that's true. So when we look at the list of imbalances here that we have looked at point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all of these points were more or less sort of static in nature. But now sixth point and seventh point, which we are going to look at, which are so closely intertwined, because when you have a lead in development, you must snatch the initiative. So 6 and 7 are kind of closely held together, and so these are known as dynamic advantages. These are not static in nature. What is static means, once you get the advantage, it will be long term. So for example, if the pawns are doubled for here, instead of taking with the uh, you take this, these doubled pawns will remain double pawns for quite some time. Okay, it's a long term thing. But when you have a lead in development, it's a short term, it's a static it's a dynamic advantage. You can say it's ephemeral. Here, if let's say white gets a move, so I'm going to just make, he plays knight f3, He gets another move, he plays bishop g5. He gets another move, he plays e3. And you can say like 2-3 moves you get, white is clearly better. He will play bishop e2, he will castle, and he will have the bishop pair. Just this is an illustrative line to make you understand that the moment is now. Black must play actively now to make use of his lead in development. So I want you to tell me what are the possible moves in this position for black, which is making use of this lead in development. Aditya Ramanathan says equal plus. Mm, possible, but I would say it's round about equal right now. Okay, so any 4 says practical thinking. Prathamesh Divekar says B4. Prathamesh, white's move B4, you mean? 94 D5, Chanchal Ja Aditi, yes. Chanchal Ja D5 with 5 exclamation marks. Prathamesh Divekar B4 with 4 exclamation marks. But Prathamesh, already it's an illegal move. Arpan Mukherjee D5, Karan Parekh D5, Pravinash D5, C5 by Pradeep Das, John Darrell Batula D5, Arka D5, Shuyan Shwarma says 94 and D5. So very good. At least all of you are making active moves. And in this position, I can tell you there are several moves which are very good. But I came up with an interesting move in this game, and that was b5. Yeah, and very surprising move, trying to take advantage of white not being developed. All of you who said 94, not a bad move, not at all. Also d5 is the main move in this position, again very logical, opening up the position. So b6 is also very common. You can put your bishop on a6, d6, knight d7, c5. This is how many people play. I said, okay, let's go b5. Yeah, very interesting. He said, well, free pawn, take. And now you have another imbalance, okay, which is I have given up material. Now, what should black play here is the next question. He took the pawn. What should black play? Yes, this has an idea to fianchetto the bishop here without wasting time, but also there is more to it. So very good. Who? Ishan Deshpande, Chanchal Ja say A6, Prathamesh Divekar, and Sniper Ghost Dota says C6. Wild Chess Knockouts Knight D5. Interesting. Narayanan Srinivasan said B6. I felt B5 is brave move. Yeah, well, it's opening theory, so not so brave. If I found it on the board, could be said as brave. So A6 is definitely possible, but I think it doesn't score as well in these positions. Maybe if I check what is the best move for, I think the best move after a6, not very common move, is to play bishop g5 here, or even take is possible. But the main move here is c6, and this is how everyone plays. And the idea is that if you take, I'll take back with my knight. And this is where you see the lead in development, how I had a slight lead in development. I gave up a pawn to increase that lead in development. Now next move, if I get a chance, I'll put my bishop on b7 or a6. Next move, I'll go rook c8. Oops, not this way, rook c8. Then maybe knight a5. And then, as Karan has rightly mentioned previously, the light squares in the queen side are slightly weak. And yes, we are going to make use of that feature in the position. And it becomes really difficult for white to counter this, mainly because these pieces are still undeveloped, and this is really not easy. Nish and Neil, what is initiative? Well, initiative is nothing but the ability to create threats in the position. If you can create threats, you can make the person respond to your threats. Like I play here e3, then you go knight e4. You are attacking the queen. You are making him respond. He goes back. You give a check. You are again making him respond. This is known as the initiative in a position where you make your opponent respond to your threats. Okay, so in the game, he didn't take, he played e3. But now the bishop on c1 is blocked. The best move here is bishop g5, and then after cb to play e3, and this is now sort of equal pawns. I go bishop b7, you go knight f3, I play h6, bishop h4, a6. This is how play usually continues. It's a theoretical line after castles, I think rook c8, and leads to interesting game. White has the bishop pair, black has good free development, so should be around equal. Now he played e3. So I said, okay, let's take the pawn. If he doesn't take, then at least the material is equal, so he took. And now I want you to think for a couple of minutes here and try to come up with an idea for black. Is because you see, if white is able to play knight f3 and castles, he would get a decent position. Pawn up as well. So you must be very, very quick. Sudipta Mundell says, what is the difference between initiative and gaining tempo? Well, initiative is basically, you can say, a broader term than gaining a tempo. For example, I attack this bishop, I gain a tempo. But is this move actually of any use? I don't see it. So, in a way, initiative is more thinking in the right direction, how to make your opponent respond to your threats in the right way, not just blindly gaining a tempo. Nish and Neil, I have a video on how to analyze your games on chessbase account on YouTube. Please have a look at that. Yeah, bishop b7 is a good move. By the way, I just need to check who's at the door. Maybe there's someone important right now. No one has rung the bell for last, what do you, I know, 15 days. So I'll just check and I'll be back. Until then, think of this is a critical moment in the game. I thought for nearly 15 minutes. Well, I have absolutely no idea who it was. Yeah, someone said it's the crow, but well, they just rang the bell and someone went away. Yeah, it's been tough times getting all the groceries and stuff. Yesterday, we ran out of quite a lot of stuff in the house, so we went down to get something, and suddenly the police came and said you can no longer get it. You have to go back, and we don't have some sugar in the house. We don't have some vegetables, so well, it's getting difficult. I hope that we are able to stay strong, survive this. Queen b6 is what I wanted to play Anish chess. Bishop b7 is the most natural move, I think. Bishop b7, but then knight f3. What do you do next? You need to find the move. Uh, Queen b6 was what I wanted to do in the game. That's true. But I actually found a very, very interesting idea here, which is knight to e4. And I don't know if someone suggested this move. I think I see one name here, Telugu Chess, but I'm sure many more people, Ragini Ramanathan, also said that, also Saurav Banerjee. Well, the idea is that if you go queen c2 now, you're just losing the bishop after queen a5 check. Okay, so you don't want to give up your bishop like that. And if you play in the game, he played queen d3, but I think the better move would have been queen b4. I think then I would go a5, queen a4, queen g5, and I was looking at g3, and I felt like somehow I have been able to push the queen to a bad square, and this looks not bad. So in the game he played queen d3, and I didn't like this move. This was not a good move. um, so what should black play here now? What should black play here? Because I think this is again an important moment in the game. I would really like to play queen a5 check, but b4 is possible. But I have a very powerful move here. Shashank, I'm staying in Ghatkopar, which is in Mumbai. One of, I think, the main areas in Mumbai where there is some risk. I think there was the first patient detected in Mumbai was from Ghatkopar. So people are more trying to be a little bit more careful here. Okay, Hari Nanda, you are absolutely right. Jan Daryl Batula is right. By the way, Jan Daryl, what's your rating? Because you usually give really good answers. Partha Hazarika is right. Well done. Anyone else who has the right answer? Sumed Ramteke, well done. You are right. Arun Dikshit, very good. That's the right move. So the right move in this position was knight d6, and now you're going to win this bishop, and this bishop is the heart of the position. As someone rightly said, I think it was Karan who said that if there are certain light square weaknesses in the position, and if this bishop is lost, they become bigger. So you will see that how I'm trying to actually create threats constantly in the position. Now my next threat is queen a5 check. So he played bishop c4, which is a bad move. I think he should have gone knight e2. I would have taken bishop a6, queen a4, and I would have played queen b6. And I'm very happy with my position for a pawn. I have this amazing bishop here. Next, I can go with my knight. The rooks can join in. This is just the ideal position in this variation. But he went bishop c4, which means he's giving up precious time. Now I want the next two moves from you, because they are natural. Black to move. What are the next two moves? Vedant Kulkarni says, why doesn't nf2 work? What if I just take king f2? Do you have any ideas after that? Yeah, queen g5 always is possible in such lines, but I think you should play simple chess now. Jan Daryl says, I'm around 2300 in lead chess. Thank you for the efforts. Love your content. Wonderful. Jan Daryl, I think you should be also very strong in over the board play if you do play tournaments. Yes, you are right. Ishan Deshpande is absolutely correct. Mohini Bhave, you are absolutely right. Harinanda is correct. Chanchal Jha is correct. Vaibhav Mazumdar. Yeah, Sani Deshpande, by the way, I must tell you guys, Sani Deshpande is a young talent from Indian chess. Very little girl. I think what 9 years old and or 8 years old, and she is here. Nice to see her. Um, Ilam Parthi, you are absolutely right. Also Sumed, Sridevi Rongali, Pravinash Anbagalan, you are right. I think you guys have got it perfectly. To take, and put the bishop here, and in a way you stop white from castling. So he played queen here, and now you have still the development edge. You have castled, you have a bishop out, you have the move. So what do you do next? Try to be a little bit more incisive here, create more threats in the position. So basically, initiative. Try to play with the initiative. What do you do next now? Yes, Harinanda, Uday Pai Deti, you are right. Uh, Vaibhav Majumdar, Queen A5, yes, but what after BD2? What do you do next? Prathamesh Divekar, you are right. Punav Jadhav, perfect answer. Kushal Jani, you are right. Tinku Saha, Knight C6. If he goes Knight E2, you may have to think what to do next because you don't really want him to castle. Soumya Mahesh and Pradyumna Kanukolu. Knight c6, yes, but maybe a little bit more aggressive. Little bit more aggressive. Yeah, everyone who said Queen g5, good job. This is what I did in the game because I developed my queen with a tempo. Not easy to defend that, and I'm also making place for my rook to join into the game. So that's a nice move. I did spend some time thinking about queen f5 check because after bd2 I can play queen b5 threatening a mate here on f1. Sometimes mates on f1 are easy to miss. Yes, I think it was, what was that game, Vidit versus Hoa Hanisian, if I'm not mistaken. Just like to show you if I'm so it was like, if you go to mega database and if you go to games, I think it was Vidit versus Hohanisian Robert, and then you can search these games if you remember the name. And in that game, he missed queen f1 mate, which is sometimes quite easy to miss. Such moves. Maybe I'm just wrong. Hoa Hanisian was not his opponent, but I do remember. Pravinash, if b4, I still play queen b5, and you haven't developed a piece with more weaknesses in your position. So that's the reason why. Yeah, I think I've got the right game. The second one in 2015, maybe. This is the one. So yeah, it was like, a game where Vidit was completely better here. He had these nice pieces in the position. Black's king was still in the center, and somehow, he could have done something. I don't know. Maybe bishop e2 was possible, and then you exchange everything. But the move he made was rook h3, and yeah, he got checkmated in one move. This was queen b5, queen f1, and it's over. So such mates can be missed, yeah. So not an impossible thing. But well, here if you stop this mate, let's say you go long castle is one move. I think that this is what I was a little bit afraid of, long castle. And well, rook c8, bishop c3. I'm not sure. I mean, black has great compensation here. The king is not safe, but I didn't want him to run away. So that's why I played queen g5, and then he went f3. Uh, I gained a tempo with my rook. He played queen d2, and now I developed my last piece with the idea of knight a5. Now, if it was my move, I would still go knight a5, because if you take on a5, I can take on g2 here. Oops, sorry, I can take the queen. But even if, like, let's say the he managed to, let's say, push my queen away with, say, nh3 here, um, and then I go queen g6, then I still have a threat of knight a5 because g2 is hanging. So that's the point here. He played b4, stopping that move. And now I want you to think a bit. What would you play here as white? As black, sorry. Black. Gopal Gosavi, your suggestion is good to play e5, but I think if I can get my queen out, then the rook with the tempo, and then later on think about that. That should be good. Here, I was able to. Why not bd3 after f3? Says Arun Dikshit. Here, bd3. Interesting move. The idea is rook c2 for you, yeah. But then maybe knight h3, gaining a tempo on your queen. Yeah, it should be good. After this there is knight f4, so this doesn't work. Maybe you give a check, but then knight f2. I have rook c2 here. Okay, possible. Yeah, here this seems like a possibility. g3. Well, I have to calculate stuff, like, because rook c2 g3. Maybe it's unclear. Yeah, like what's happening. bd3 is not such a silly move. Yeah, it's interesting, because if you take, you want to take here. Yeah, seems good suggestion, Arun, I think. But I guess we have to look at somewhere in the direction of knight h3 check, and knight f2, or even g3 takes queen d3. This looks already suspect after queen g2. Looks bad. So yeah, bd3 is a nice suggestion. But okay, in the game I played knight c6, b4, and here I made a good move. I don't know if anyone has come up with this move. Yeah, Vishal Kumar has said it. That's right. Ilam Parthi as well. Well done, Ilam Parthi. This is exactly what I played. Rahul Gupta, if queen b5, then knight e2. That's what I was a little bit worried about. Okay, so the right move, and that is what I played, was queen g6. And the point is that I want to get my rook here. Now he played knight h3, and here I think it's important to keep the initiative flowing. What should uh, white do? Sorry, black. I always make this mistake. I'm thinking something else. So what should black do? Well, if you move this knight away, then white wants to go knight f4, okay, and try to somehow hold himself together. So how do you avoid this? How do you avoid this situation? Aditya Ramanathan says knight into d4. Well, Jaideep Chakrabarti, thank you so much for your contribution of 400 rupees. Very grateful to you. As always, you supported this stream, and it's been a pleasure having you always on the show. Tahsin Mohammed, 40 rupees he's contributed. Thank you so much, Tasim. He says display pic of each video keeps improving every day. Yeah, thank you. Knight d4, I think I was a little bit afraid of knight f4 in this position. Maybe not nothing bad as such with knight d4, but I think the stronger move, as has been suggested by Vaibhav Mazumdar, Rani Pooja, Chanchal Jha, is to open up the position as much as you can with e5. Well done, all of you. Because if he plays this now, I can take with the knight and I can meet knight f4 with knight d3 check. And you can see that this position is quite better for white. He can, for black, he can threaten rook c2 next. d5 was played in the game, and it's now time to finish off the game in the most accurate fashion. Okay, those who think that here knight d4, knight f4, knight c2 works, possible. What if king f2? I'm just trying to see that I don't let my opponent run away. Like maybe he goes next move rook a2, which I don't want him to. This is even fine, I would say, but e5 is just very clinical. d5, and now black to move. Yeah, Karan Parik, you are absolutely right. Very quick to spot the tactics. Here there are two good moves to win, and both of them are strong. I think as Chanchal Jha, Mikhail Botvinnik, Rishila Banerjee, Jan Derrill have suggested, this is a good way to continue. Also Sagar Chess, Suryansh Verma, Viraj, not Viraj, knight b4. I'm not very happy because knight b4 means I can take here rook c2, then again this is hanging here. So you might lose out on a lot of material in that case, like for example rook a6, rook d2, bd2, queen g. There is queen b1 check. Yeah, maybe I have to take with the king, but then there is king queen g2. Yeah, but in general, how do I calculate here? King d2, queen g2. Don't like it so much. Maybe I have to castle here. That leads to a mate. So yeah, I'm just thinking about possible moves. Maybe rook knight b4 is also not so bad. Then maybe queen b4 is one possibility here. If rook c2, I can go knight f2 perhaps. If you take queen g2, I'm thinking of knight f2. I'm not sure. I think that this is also completely better for black, but the right move that I played, knight d4, is a strong move. This is also winning, but in the game I went knight a5, and I'm threatening knight b3, winning the rook and the queen. And well, he just resigned here because after takes there is rook c2 and there is queen into g2. So you will see that how the development and initiative, both these factors are very very closely interconnected. If you are ahead in development, you have the initiative, uh, you must continue making threats. Like in this game, you will see that I was very very conscious not to let my opponent run away. So for example, after he took, attack the queen, then attack the bishop, then attack the queen, then attack the pawn, then attack the queen, then now develop your knight, then you go threatening there. So it was like each move now opening up the position, and then knight a5, and you will see that it was kind of ahead in development, threat, and the opponent just collapses. Okay, so by the way, this opening which I have mentioned here is an interesting one for you to try, which goes with a3 takes. So it starts first of all with d4, nf6, c4, e6, and c3, bishop b4, queen c2, castles, a3, take, and b5. Okay, after takes you can go c6, and yes, you must prepare seriously for bishop g5 because that's the main move. But if he takes here, I enjoy playing these positions very much. For one pawn you get a lot of play. It's like benko gambit. I think you know it already what benko is, where you play b5 and a6, and for one pawn you get a lot of play. That's how it works. Okay, uh, the opening theory ended in this game when my opponent played the move e3 here. This was not something that I prepared, it didn't look so good, and here I was on my own from here. Ranjit says, what if uh, rook a2 here? Yeah, interesting move, but then what if knight b3 and then you lose a piece? So, doesn't work, rook a2. Someone said that here knight b4, a b4, rook c2, rook a6 is a free queen on g6. Very sorry, because this is hanging. Very good. Thank you for telling me. Um, yeah, rook c2, rook a6 is a powerful move. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Okay. Yes, Sayan, I have received your game, so thanks for that. Now let's look at one of the games of someone here so that you understand this theme even better. I think it was um, Kimaya who contributed today, was the first contributor of the day, and she is playing against Pradeep Shirke. Okay, and you will see that this theme occurs in so many games, and we need to be alert. So Kimaya was black, knight f3, knight f6, knight c3, dc, e4. This is also known as Geller's gambit in the Slav. Usually white goes e4 and tries to win the pawn slowly with knight e5 or e3. But here he played e4, Pradeep Shirke, and then after b5, e5, knight d5, a4, knight c3, bc3, e6. And I think black has won a pawn, but at the same time white has this strong center. So white played the move ab, cb, and knight to g5. Black went bishop b7, and now came the move queen to h5. And there are two moves here. One is g6, which is played often, but Kimaya went queen d7, which is also pretty fine. And now the main move is bishop e2, but the opponent played the move knight into h7. What do you think about this move? How good or bad is it? And how should black continue the position? What should black do here? What should black do here? And look at the threats that white has created in this position. So be careful. Why not h6, says Jeff? Well, if you play h6 directly here, then anyway queen h5. And also here maybe queen f3 is a strong move, because I threaten not just this but also on a8. So that's the reason why knight g5, you go bishop b7 stopping queen f3, and then after here queen d7, knight into h7. What should black do? Everyone says this is a terrible move, this is a horrible move, but hey, it's not so easy. There is a clear threat in the position. The threat is to give a check and to take this guy here. So you have to be careful. B4 is what many of you want to play. G6 is really a bad move here because after knight f6 you can resign. So all those who feel this was really bad, I think you're just being too critical without understanding. B4 also, I mean knight f6 check. This leads to some really crazy play. But I don't see anyone here. Yeah, Sagar chess is close but not 100% right. Uh, King e7 or king d8 says Mayur, but Mayur, this is what your opponent wants. He wants you to move your king, and then later on, this knight is not so easy to win. And if you play a move like king d8, I can, oops, not b4. If king d8, then I can already think of bishop g5 check. Your king has to start running, and you have something much better here, actually. Yes, Prathamesh Divekar, you are right. Actually, this is really a very, very good position to understand the power of development. Yeah, Arun Dikshit is also correct. The right move here is knight c6, and she played it. I'm very happy. Kimaya, she understood the importance of development and initiative, and she said, well, it's true I'm going to lose an exchange, but in return, look at my development. It's almost completed. And here, black has a very, very powerful move. What should black play? Yes, knight c6. You are right. Absolutely. Everyone who says knight c6 now, you are right. Well, Ilamparthi Rook g8 is also possible, but you know, this is just winning knight c6. Sometimes you don't care for material if you have the development. Yeah, this is very important. Yeah, Long Castle is what Kimaya played in the game, but there is something powerful, as rightly pointed out by Reema Singh, Ishir Narayanan, Shuyansh Verma, Aditya Ramanathan. Very good, very good. All of you are tactical monsters here, doing tactics every day, so that helps. So remember, being good positionally involves a lot of tactical calculations, because you can't be saying, okay, this is a good position for black, but I don't know what to do. You need tactics to back your assessments often. So here the right move was knight into d4, which is winning on the spot, because after cd you have queen d4 attacking the rook and also threatening castles and bishop b4 check. It's very powerful. Queen e5 is also hanging, and there's no way that white can do anything about this. But in the game, she played long castle, which is, well, relatively okay. Uh, the opponent played queen into f6, and now she found the right idea to take queen d4, bishop e2, check, king f1, take on a1, f3, take on c1, take on h1. One too many pieces, like take on a1, c1, h1, and now finally being one bishop and one rook down. White resigned, Pradeep resigned this game, but I think it was a fantastic game by Kimaya. Well done. Lot to learn from this. First of all, how she developed, and then she did not. She played knight c6 and she played long castle. It was really cool. Let's look at one more game sent to us by a reader. His name is Margal, Roland, I don't think he is here, but he watches these videos after they are published, I think later in the day. And Margal is rated 2264 and he's black in this game. So a lot of black wins, yeah, for us. Uh, Queen's Gambit declined. You see, quite an unusual opening to think about initiative, but initiative can flow from anywhere. And here, I think the normal move could be knight f3, but white went bishop to d3. So I want you to think a little bit in terms of what we have discussed here. Maybe Margel didn't play it in the right way that Roland was. Perhaps I'm not sure, but let's try to get the initiative because we are slightly ahead in development. The knight is still not developed here. The rook and castling has to be still done while we are castled. So how should black continue here? Mukilan Bala has contributed 170 rupees. Mukilan, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, queen g5, maybe just g3 would have been okay. Queen b4, queen d2. This is just what white wants. Queen d2, you take, and this is really a dream position. I'll go knight f3, rook c1, b4, b5. I mean, white has kind of risk-free edge. So more aggressive. Yeah, let's be aggressive. Ilam Parth, you are right. Rani Pooja, you are right. Very good. Also Divya HL, Sayan Roy, Prakhar Bajaj. Yes, c5. Let's try to be active. So white said if I go knight f3, maybe he will go c4, gain more space. So let me take the pawn, which seems logical. And now what do you do with black? Black to move. After c5 he took. Next idea is to go knight f3 and castles. Yes, Divya, you're absolutely right. Minority attack is very effective in that position after queens are exchanged. Practical thinking, you are right. Mikhail Botvinnik, all of you have become like initiative monsters. Yeah, you understand when is the right moment. D4, good, excellent. I'm very happy with how this is going on. Knight f3 and d into e3 was played. And here I believe that white could have just castled. And then after e into f2, let's say rook f2, queen c5, it's true that you have lost a pawn, but I think the initiative is now changed hands. I mean, rook c1, and it looks like it's white who has the initiative with all the pieces nicely developed and can create some play in the position. Maybe it's fine for black, but what White did was kiss Bella. I don't know if he's a male or a female, but White, what he did in this position was played Rook C1, trying to cling on to material, and this is a very common mistake that people make um, when they are ahead in material. They try to cling on to it and give the initiative to the opponent. And a nice move by Roland. He played Rook E8 because after castles comes e2 and you lose a piece. Yeah, so that is the reason why you can't castle now. So white played the move rook c2, and now black continued the development with knight c6. So every move is like a threat, because now if you castle, I go knight b4, and then I can take this guy, then I can play e2. There are a lot of really problems that white has to solve here. So he played bishop b5 was played, and then bg4, bishop into c6, b into c6, and still you can't castle because of e2. That's the problem. So queen d4, but now you can see after take, rook a d8, queen c4, e into f2, queen e3 check, and rook d4. You can see how the initiative is completely with black, and it's a checkmate. Next move is a mate coming up. Queen king g1, queen g5 is winning, even queen e3 is winning. So everything wins, and he resigned. So what I learn from such games is that when you are ahead in development, you must be active. You must open up the position with move like c5, d4, and yes, your opponents will go wrong because once the king is under pressure, it's very difficult to defend. Okay, so keep this in mind. I have one more game to show you guys. By the way, a big thanks to Ashutosh Bharadwaj for contributing 40 rupees. Thanks a lot for doing this. um yeah, so to just make sure that you understand this theme well, we are going to take a game, and this one is perhaps not entirely related to this theme but a lot to do with the imbalances, and it's with one of the students here, who I mean one of the people who is in the viewers, and his name is Siddharth Shri Kumar, and he played against Nigel Short. Okay, white is Nigel Short. By the way, it's a black day. It's a black pieces day because we are going to look at another black game. And Siddharth, if you are there, please let us know if I'm right. You played against Nigel Short just 3 months ago, and Siddharth is what 10 or 11 years old, and this was when Nigel Short came to Kerala, and there was a coaching camp by Sarvanan. Maybe Sarvanan is also watching this video with his son right now. And there was a coaching camp where Siddharth Shri Kumar attended, and then they gave Nigel gave a Simon, and he opened with e4, and Siddharth there. Siddharth is 9 years old. Okay, amazing. Well, he's a big talent then. Knight f3, d6. Oops, sorry, I just pressed something wrong. d4, takes, knight f6, knight c3, a6, Najdorf, says Siddharth, a3. And this is one of Nigel's favorite moves. I think if I just share my screen here, and if I show you in the reference tab, you will see that Short has played it before against Aronian. Short has played against Paravian. So he is an expert at this system, A3. Yeah. At least he has 2 games here. Also, he's played with Zigalko, Nilsson, Sandeepan. So very good. I want to know if Siddharth was actually prepared for A3. Did you prepare for this game? Chess with Harsh said, I also played from black side and won. Against whom? Okay, so A5 was played by uh, Siddharth, and now went knight to F3. So bishop E7, bg5, knight d7, bishop c4, and you will see that a3 move was more like a sort of a waiting move in a way, and in many lines it is useful. First of all, if b5 b4 becomes difficult to execute. Secondly, white wants to see what black does. If e5, he no longer has to go to b3, he can go to f3 in this position. And you will see that Nigel gets a good position here. I think he takes, and tries to take control of this critical d5 square. That's what he wants to do. Rook c8, knight d2, castles, and now castles. Siddharth made a very interesting move, which was rook to c5, and he says removing the knight from d2 in an indirect way. I don't know what that means, removing the knight from d2, but it's a good move. He controls this square, maybe prepares queen c7, and also the rook is well placed on c5. So rook f d1, and here he played the move g6. Maybe not the most ideal move. I think you could have even thought of playing queen c7. The queen is well placed here. G6, his idea was to go knight to e8 and knight g7. That was his idea. Uh, but g6, knight f1 was played, and here now it's black to move. What would you play here as black? His idea was knight e8, knight g7, try to get the knight like this, maybe play f5 if possible at some point. I don't know. This was what he wanted to do. But suddenly, something happens now. Black to move. Yes, Ilam Parthi, you're absolutely right. Also, Ripple Padmani, very good. Kimaya Virle, Saurav Banerjee, Sairam Sampath, Sumed Ramteke, Jitendra Verma, you need to work on your notation. Rishila Banerjee, Saurav Banerjee, Uday Paideti, Agastya De, Anup Datta. Very good. Excellent. The right move, Shriyana Malya, Sagar Chess, Geetha Ramesh, Akash Pranav, Chanchal Jha, Ishan Deshpande, Soham Shirode, Reshu Jain. Everyone got it right. Prathamesh Divekar. Excellent quest. The right move is rook into c3, giving up an exchange, and in return getting the e4 pawn. Well, usually it would be lovely if you can force white to take with the b pawn and then take this, because then you not only win a pawn but also have these really weak pawns. But here Nigel has something better, like, at least his pawns are not so bad. But Siddharth, I think, has assessed the position well, that here he is able to create a lot of play. Now he played bishop h4, which is a nice move, and maybe ng3 was what he should have played, Nigel. But in the game, g6, g3 was played, and here black found a very powerful move. Let's see if you can also find it. By the way, a big thanks to Kubdia 32, who has given US dollars 1.74. What's the logic of 1.74? I am not sure. So black to move. Now it's not so easy move, but I think this game played by Siddharth is really fantastic game. Very high quality. Black to move. Well, knight g5, I'll take your bishop on b7. Um, yes, Aditya Ramanathan, you are absolutely right. I think you are the first one to get this move right. Prakhar Bajaj has got it right. Well done. Reshu Jain has got it right. Well, if you play a move like knight c3, then you will lose this bishop, and then basically you are just a piece down. So you can't really give up your bishop on b7. And the right move is suggested also by Vishal Kumar, Sagar Chess. Very good. Excellent. Josephine Geeta also has got it right. Mithran Pradeep Kumar, Vaibhav Mazumdar, Ripple Padmani. Good. The right move is Queen A8, and really, I sorry, not Queen B8, Queen A8, and I'm very impressed with that. How did you find this move in a simul? Because simuls are very interesting things. People think the person giving a simul is always short on time. It's true, but when you're playing, even you are many times very confused because he's moving and you think okay he's on the other end, and very quickly these players come to your board, and when they come you are like nervous, what to play, what should I do. And I think he must have had something like 2 or 3 minutes or maybe 5 minutes to find the move, and he did find Queen A8. Excellent move, because now when Nigel came he took, and Siddharth was ready with his move knight to G5, Queen G3, and he gave a check here. And now it was important to play King G2. When you go knight E1 check, King G1. If King H3, there is Bishop C8, Queen G4, and a nice mate. If King G1 check, and I think it would have been a draw here, but he played King H1, and now it's black to move and win. A simul is one player playing against many players. So usually a master is playing against a lot of, it's called a simultaneous display, and the short form for it is a simul. So here I don't know how many players Nigel Short was playing against, but should be around 20 odd. I think here you win a queen, yes. Knight d4 check by practical thinking. Ilam Parthi, Pradeep Das, Rani Pooja, Uday Paideti, Anushka Bhatt, Haider Yasmin, Wild Chess Knockouts, Prakhar Bajaj, Sairam Sampath, Chanchal Jha, Karan Parekh. Very good, excellent. And there came knight d4 check, f3, bishop takes f3, king g1, check, and you win the queen. Then he won the rook, and the rest is not difficult, but I'm very impressed how easily Siddharth managed to convert this into a win, and Short resigned here. Queen g4 is coming next. Well done, Siddharth. 9-year-old boy beating Short. I remember that Short in his book has mentioned a simul against Karpov when he was just 9 or 10 years old. And maybe Siddharth, when you grow up to be a great grandmaster one day, you will also write about this game with Nigel Short that you played and beat him when you were 9 years old. So excellent. um, I think based on this very theme, I had also another game to show you, which was very similar to what Siddharth did. And this will actually, it's a tactical puzzle, and it was played by Karan, who is here. And Karan has actually given this position. It was his online game. He was black, and well, it's surprising. Yeah, today everything I choose is black wins. Very surprising. Black to move. Practical thinking says yes. Shrutartha Maiti. He was playing Nigel Short. Yes, GM Nigel Short. Practical thinking says in chess base India, after going to maneuvers in filter tabs, how can we find games related to imbalances? Interesting. Maybe not in maneuvers, but easier to do it through the through the material tab. I think if you can put a knight and a bishop instead of the maneuvers tab, that could be better. Yeah, Aditya, you are right. Ilam Parthi is absolutely on the ball. He's very quick. Got the answer. Anushka, Shriyana, Chanchalja. But I want full variations, not just one move. One move is like no fun anymore. You need the full. You need to tell me the full line. That's interesting. So yes, all those who said knight into e4, excellent. You are very strong, and I'm very impressed that Karan actually found this in a blitz game when he had very little time. So sacrificing his queen, but now comes the beauty of this problem. How to finish off your opponent now? It's a mate in two and a very, very important mating pattern to remember. For everyone here, very good Sayan Roy. Shri Kumar, you are right. Siddharth, Sumed, you are right. Vaibhav Mazumdar, Ragini Ramanathan, yeah, very good. The right move is knight f2, double check so that he has no time to take this bishop. And then after king g1, you go knight h3. Very similar to what Siddharth did in his game against Short. He used his bishop and knight to corner the king. And this is a very common mating pattern. Remember, the knight covers the dark squares, the bishop covers the light squares, and this is covered by his own piece. And so that's game over. Well, so that was a good class today. I think we had on development and initiative. We have some more examples tomorrow. And now we have 3 days left. I'm going to touch a bit on calculation, how to calculate well. Also, I want to touch a bit on endgames as to how you can do that. But mainly, I want to give you positions and try to improve your thought process of imbalances, because if you're not going to work on it regularly, you will forget it, and all the effort that we took in these days is not going to be useful. I learned something very important when I read the book The Art of Learning by Josh Waitzkin. And he said that learning is an art, which you can master. So why does he say so? Because I think you have seen this movie, The Search for Bobby Fischer. And in that, it is revolving around the life of uh, by the way, a big shout out to Kubdia, who's contributed 3.26. Well, he did 1.74, so you add this, it comes to $5. So thank you so much for your contribution. So the movie Search for Bobby Fischer was based on the life of Josh Waitzkin, who was considered as the biggest talent America had ever produced. And he was an IM already, very young age, very talented. But then this movie came out and he felt so much stressed out because everyone thought he's the next Bobby Fischer, and he couldn't really improve at chess. He became an IM but couldn't become a GM, and so he gave up chess as an IM. And then he found something known as push hands, or you can say Tai Chi, and he became a world champion in that as well, in that form of martial arts. And he says, and he tells his journey of how he improved at chess, and then also how he improved at Tai Chi, and two different arts, and being really good at both, so he can be a very good person to tell you about the art of learning. And one of the things he mentions, and if you can get the book for yourself, do get it. It's not a chess book, but it deals on how to learn different things. He says that when you want to learn something, you put a lot of effort in learning it. So, for example, when we learn about imbalances, like here, we learned all these things very closely. What is development? What is initiative? What is material, space, pawn structure, minor pieces? Everything. We learn a lot about it. And then there comes a time when you actually unlearn it. It becomes like a part of you, so much so that you actually don't even remember that you ever learned about it. And this is the point when you actually have mastered that art, when you can unlearn something, When you are learning, okay, I have to do what, so if I give you a position, you are like, what's the material, yeah, what is the mm, development initiative, okay, you are just looking, counting everything, and then there will come a time, and it doesn't, you shouldn't try for it consciously, it will come naturally, where you will be sort of like, yeah, I don't need to look at everything, I understand, okay, the most important thing is this queen here, I need to castle, I can give up a pawn, so that feature of unlearning is something which is very critical to learning something, and it might seem contradictory at first to unlearn something to learn, but it's true. By the way, a big thanks and a shout out to Kubdia, who's contributed another $5, so in all he's contributed 10, and he says, just wanted to bring that smile on your face. Well, thank you, you have the smile on my face, and today was a nice day. A lot of people contributed, a lot of people learned. I hope you enjoyed. Someone's asking me if, yeah, exactly. Quest says like learning to drive a car. Very good example. Like you see, okay, here's the brake, here's the clutch, here's the accelerator. Okay, I must use only one leg for my accelerator and brake. The other one should be for clutch. And then I must look here. Oh, I must look at the back window. So many things to take care of. And then suddenly one fine day you mastered everything, and you're like changing gears naturally. When the traffic comes, you then put your leg on the brake. It becomes like you sort of never learnt it, it just becomes a part of you, it's a natural process, you start flowing. And this is where all of you should try to reach when you play chess. Many times when I would ask players like Anand and Carlson, and "Oh, how did you come to such moves?" Yes, they can explain many times. Sometimes they would say something like, I just felt right, I just felt it. Maybe they were tired, they didn't want to say something about it, but sometimes it's just that you develop this intuition by practice, 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 and then you no longer know why you are doing something. It just happens naturally. Okay. Okay, so this was a good day. I would like to know, by the way, all of you, how do you spend the rest of your day? Just to know. Tanny says, nice teaching quality. Well, thank you so much. Honi Harora says, I want to donate money. Can you give me your Paytm number? Honi, can you do it on the link in the pay you money below? That would be nice if you can do that. We don't have a Paytm. Yes, Saurav, habit is second nature. That's true. Anushka Bhatt says, where can I find the report of fundraiser tournament on Play Chess? On chessbase.in. If you go to chessbase.in. Kimaya says, I study for 1 hour. Okay, you study. Still, yeah, you're still in 10th, 3 exams left. Lakshman Raj says, sleep, eat, repeat. Well, Lakshman, that's interesting. Yeah, you must have gained some weight because of that. And yeah, who else? Online game says Prathamesh Divekar. Okay, you play online. That's interesting. Sagar says, I'm teaching students free this month, so time goes by easily. Wonderful. That's an excellent gesture by you, Sagar, that you're teaching students for free. Mayur Gondalekar says, I work from home, so I watch your show simultaneously. Other than that, stay at home, eat, sleep, learn astrology. Wow, that's interesting. Well, I'm always kind of concerned that astrology is not a real science, but we already had that discussion when we met, and I would like to know more about it when we meet again. So let me know how that goes. Haidar Yasmin says, I'm doing Fit G homework and some hours of chess. Fit G, is it like this uh, entrance examination for IIT or for some other institution? Yeah. Sumedh Ramteke says, I'm studying my NEET exams are coming closer. NEET. Okay, what's that? Nish Neil says, a lot of practice. Wonderful. Quest says chess, chess, and chess. That's interesting. I would like to say Quest is a person who is not a very young guy. He is a teacher in a college or a school, I think college, and he has is using this time to learn a lot of chess. Wonderful, Quest. Um, and Alind Khare says, rest of the day after your class, waiting till 5 for Niklesh's class. Yes, for all those who attend my class, can also attend Niklesh's class at 5 p.m. He teaches in Hindi and some very interesting stuff goes on there. Rishila says, I see games of Vidit and study. Okay, very nice. Saurav says, I also teach Rishila maths and English grammar. Okay, you teach your daughter. Shashank says day is almost up. Answer some emails, watch, read something, go to bed. Yeah, Shashank, you are in US, so the day is almost up. Um, but yeah, good that you are attending all the sessions. Ilam Parthi says tactics, books, school homework, play online. Well, very meticulous. Yeah, tactics, then read some books, do your school homework, play online. Good, Ilam Parthi, you're managing everything. Arts and gadget stuff, Nishchay says idle, don't do much. 100 push-ups challenge, says Virinchi. I was thinking I'll start a stay at home chess challenge. Maybe if you guys can take part, that would be nice. I'll post a video where I'll show my favorite opening trap, and then I'll ask you all to also post a video on, say, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, anywhere with your favorite video, opening trap video. Maybe that's a good idea, yeah? Evgeny Slutsker says attend lectures on chess. Like this one, maybe many more. Yeah, that's interesting. Manoj Joseph says reading fundamental chess endings by Carsten Mueller, build up your chess and tactics. Those are good books, Manoj. Well done. Cyan Roy says, do you spend your day seeing our games? Well, mostly I wake up at around 4:30 or 5, and then I am doing some of my work, and also I see the games, prepare for the class. Now after this, I will usually wake Amruta up. Yes, she wakes up quite late, but she sleeps very late. She's working late night. So I actually we have very less overlapping time. Like she sleeps around 3 or 4, and I wake up at 4 or 5. So I'm like a morning person. She sleeps at very late at night, and then we discuss something related to work. And then now I think today is the time when I have to find something, go down and get some stuff for the house because we are running out of some things. But usually I'm working on articles, on videos, on trying to coordinate with all the people who work at chessbase india. That's how the day is, but right now it's a busy day, busy time, because a lot of online events on play chess. There are also a lot of other things, fundraising activities we are doing. So I thought the quarantine or the self isolation should be relatively free time, but turns out it's busier than usual because there's so much to do. Okay. Very good. I see that a lot of you are spending a lot of time on chess here, which makes it feel really good. Mukilan Bala has contributed 64 rupees. Thank you so much, Mukilan. Sairam Sampath, after this, I'll take some rest and do chess based tactics and I'll attend the class in the evening. Good plan. Good plan. Okay, so the most important thing, I have a lot of answers, can't go through all of them, but I think the most important thing is to stay busy, to learn something new. I would definitely recommend all of you to check out the website of Khan Academy if you are learning something related to studies. I learn a lot from there about economics, or if let's say I want to learn something about entrepreneurship, also there are some interesting videos. It's a completely free portal, a very inspiring portal for me. So you can check it out. It's called khanacademy.org. Okay. Yeah, so let's meet tomorrow at 9 a.m. Then will be the third last day of our 21 day. Maybe today we'll get some news on whether this lockdown will continue or not, and then we can decide whether to continue further or not. With regards to homework, I think there's one very nice game which I would recommend all of you on today's theme to check, which was suggested before, which is development. I have it's Hari Krishna versus Duda, and actually I have named it as development on Chessbase India. So yeah, this is the one, Hari versus Duda. If you can go through this video, I will put the link in the chat. So please have a look at it whenever you can. So I've put that link, and this is the video where Hari Krishna versus Duda. You can analyze this game and learn a lot more about why development is important, and also how at the highest level people go wrong. Yeah. Okay. So see you, and take care. We'll meet again tomorrow. Bye bye.